Dozens of people were killed today in an attack in the Libyan town of Zlitan, one of the deadliest since Islamist militants started expanding their presence following the fall of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. I-24 News defense correspondent Shai Ben-Ari has more.
The deadliest terror attack in more than a year in Libya, a country that has known almost ceaseless violence since the beginning of the Arab Spring 5 years ago. A truck bomb exploded at a police training facility in the town of Zlitan, east of Tripoli, Thursday morning. Hundreds of new police recruits were conducting morning exercises at the time.
He came driving really fast. He drove through the gate in a large vehicle and then exploded.
There were conflicting reports of the number of casualties, but according to one health ministry official, at least 47 people were killed. Though no group immediately took responsibility for the bombing, the attack comes against the backdrop of recent gains by the Islamic State terror organization along Libya's Mediterranean coast.
Partly as a result of the vacuum created by the lack of a single credible government in Libya, Islamic State has managed to establish a foothold, particularly in Sirte, which was previously the home place of Colonel Gaddafi.
But IS is now expanding beyond Sirte as well. This footage, shot by members of the group, purports to show the town of Bin Jawad Wednesday after it was captured by the jihadists. On Monday and Tuesday, Islamic State terrorists attacked oil facilities at Ras Al Anouf and As-Sidr with mortar shells, setting ablaze 7 oil tanks that were still burning Thursday. 9 guards were killed in the fighting, but security forces loyal to the Tripoli government say 30 IS terrorists died as well.
There's a real danger that if in Libya they were able to gain control of oil-producing facilities, then they would find a way to sell it, and that would generate money to allow them to even form a quasi-state of the sort we see in Syria and Iraq.
Even discounting Islamic State, Libya remains divided between rival governments seated in Tobruk in the east and Tripoli in the west. While a tentative UN peace deal was agreed between some of the members of each body in December, neither parliament currently has a majority in favor of the deal. So long as these divisions remain, others are likely to take advantage.
And with me right now is Ali Waqt, Senior Middle East Analyst. Good evening.
Good evening, Lucy.
So let's talk a little bit about the situation in Libya. This is a place that we haven't spoke about for some time now. We spoke about Iran, about Syria, of course, about Yemen. But what is happening in Libya?
Yeah, maybe we're not speaking regarding the internal situation of Libya, the two camps that are fighting power and now trying to reach a peaceful agreement that will allow to create a united government that will prepare the country for government. But yes, we were talking, Lucy, when we were saying that maybe the Islamic State is on the defensive in Iraq and in Syria, we mentioned that they are finding more ground in Libya. For example, and that Libya can be crucial because it is closer to Europe and to the West than Iraq and Syria. And the Islamic State is fighting now almost against everybody in Libya, the two governments and the Islamic militias, in order to say, I am the new boss in Libya. I am the new guy that will dictate the rule of the day. And I'm afraid that they are succeeding, and there is some logic in the focus that the Islamic State is putting in Libya. It will allow the organization to keep and to strengthen its relation with Egypt and Sinai. And today, of course, there was an attack in Cairo, and the Islamic State Wilayat Sinai in Sinai is challenging the government, and it will enable the organization to strengthen its situation in the Maghreb, in North Africa, on the expenses of Al-Qaeda, who is still in the Maghreb stronger for the moment than the Islamic State.
What is enabling basically the Islamic State to get stronger in Libya? Is it the fact that it wasn't, let's say, the focus or the headline or let's say the focus in the Middle East and it was Syria and Lebanon and Iraq?
Lucy, maybe our focus was not on Libya, but the focus of the Islamic State was since long time on Libya. They knew that they need to create more strongholds in the region, and Libya was a strategic one because it is in the middle between the Maghreb, between Europe and also Egypt, and we know that Egypt, because of the chaos that is ruling in Egypt, it is relatively an easier place to try to build cells, to build infrastructure, and to dominate the terrible traffic of arms in this region, arms that is being all around the Middle East, coming from Libya, and it comes from Libya, absolutely from the west to Libya to the Middle East, and the Islamic State want to be in this very strategic junction of the region.
So you're saying that we didn't guard, the West, maybe the media and everybody, we didn't guard the milk.
They're not absolutely idiots.
So we didn't guard the milk, and the cats came back to drink it.
I think so.
Ali Waqid, thank you very much for this.